Terrence Crawford is the best fighter of this generation. Some people are going to say Usyk. Some people are going to say Inoue. To me, guys, Terrence Crawford, for you to jump from 147 to 168, 3 weight classes, and for you to fight Canelo Alvarez, who a lot of people regard as top 3 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, one of the greatest Mexican fighters of all time, one of the greatest fighters of all time, period. And for you to go out there and put on a show. And it's not just the fact that Terrence Crawford won this fight. It's how he won the fight. To go against a bigger fighter or someone that's adapted to the super middleweight, to even sometimes even fighting at that light heavyweight division, and for you to go into the late rounds and fight on the inside the way that Crawford was doing, he got comfortable fighting Canelo on the inside when we got to rounds 11 and 12. He got comfortable. Most fighters would just try to fight, try to fight, you know, at a rangier distance, and just utilize the jab and just kind of run around the ring, kind of like a matador, like Tarver said it best, is kind of like Matador and the Bull. And yeah, Crawford was, you know, for the most part, picking his shots, you know, utilizing the jab, following up with some really good combinations. You know, for the most part, not really letting Canelo settle down. Canelo had to chase. And Canelo, to be fair, that's pretty much since he's been in super middleweight, that's all he's done is chase. Going against bigger fighters, because Canelo is a very, very, like, he's a hard puncher. Not the fact that his power, he's very, very, like, he's a very, very hard puncher. One of the best body punchers in boxing. Followed with the fact that he can mess you up. So Canelo's had the chase anyway. That's nothing new. You expect that with a guy in Crawford who is, let's be honest, an undersized sort of fighter, right? Like, he does not fight at that weight class. But the fact that he fought on the inside in the last couple of rounds, and you can tell Canelo was getting frustrated. He looked like, honestly, Canelo looked like he was getting tired. He didn't have the same ferocity in his shots that I've seen a little bit earlier from him. That was the moment that I knew that Terrence Crawford won the fight. Because Crawford got comfortable. And he said, fuck it, let's fight. I think Crawford felt Canelo's power in the earlier to mid rounds. But yeah, when we got to the later rounds, I think the power was starting to dissipate. I think Canelo was getting a little tired. And Crawford, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, I thought he could have finished Canelo. Where I thought maybe Terrence could just press. If he would have just pressed a little bit more often, he could have got Canelo out of there. And thankfully that didn't come back to bite him, because I'm thinking to myself, man, Canelo is still this, he's still, you know, he's a very, very heavier fighter, powerful guy, can knock you out. Whether it's a body shot, that kind of that infamous uppercut that he loves to throw. I'm just hoping that doesn't come to bite Terrence Crawford. Thankfully that didn't. But bro, Terrence Crawford is an animal. He's a different beast. 37 years of age, going up 2 weight classes. Remember, he was what, 2 years inactive? And well, not 2 years inactive, but for the most part, he fights pretty much he didn't even fight at all last year, I believe. He fought in 23, right? He fought, for the 154 belt. Didn't really look good there. But, bro, I don't know what else Terrence Crawford was amazing tonight. Absolutely amazing. And you got to give a lot of credit. You got to give a lot of credit, man, to what he is now, which is he's one of the greatest fighters of all time. Some people may not put him in the Mount Rushmore. It's completely fine. Because ultimately, when you take a look at Terrence Crawford's resume, in terms of the all-time great fighter on his resume, it's Canelo. Canelo's the only one that's all-time great. He fought, obviously Earl Spence at one point was a pound-for-pound great fighter. He fought Sean Porter, right? Went undisputed, right? I think he fought went undisputed at 140. So ultimately, at the end of the day, in terms of the names to kind of rack up the resume, it's not the best looking. But you know what? Who cares, man? Like, sometimes we just got to stop looking at the resume and we got to start just taking a look at the fights. And we got to ask ourselves, did Terrence Crawford fight the best of his era? And he did. And he beat him. He beat an all-time great fighter today. An all-time great fighter. And we got to give that credit to Terrence Crawford. He's in my Mount. I don't care what people say, guys. He's in my Mount Rushmore. Top 4 pound-for-pound greatest fighters of all time. Argue with your mama. Say that I'm young. I'm too young. I didn't watch the fighters back in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. Like, I don't give a damn. For what I've seen and what I've witnessed with my own eyeballs, that's one of the greatest fighters of all time. That's one of the most impressive wins ever. And I don't want to hear any excuses about Canelo being 35. Crawford is 37. 37, jumping up 2 weight classes, severely undersized. I don't want to hear any fucking excuses about Canelo being old, because this is the same shit that y'all said about when he lost to Bivol. This is the same shit that I heard, that I heard when he had that draw against Triple G. Not the fact that he's old, but the fact that I don't know. Like, I even heard like some cheating scandals. It just he got right. I'm not gonna go in that much in depth about it. You know how Canelo fans are some of the biggest fucking disgraces of fans I've ever seen in boxing. They will make any single type of excuse to downplay another fighter. Matter of fact, to downplay their own fighter in a way. They make any excuse for Canelo whenever he loses or he gets into trouble or he gets into close fights. I remember when he fought Dmitry Bivol. People didn't even know who Dmitry Bivol was. They didn't know who he was. They knew who Beterbiev was. They knew who he was, and they were saying, Canelo, stay away from Beterbiev. People didn't even know who Dmitry Bivol was until he fought him, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh shit, oh wow, man, Dmitry Bivol's a really easy man. That dude is for real. No shit. Now everyone's on Dmitry Bivol's nuts. I mean, obviously now because he's the undisputed champion, or was undisputed. But before that, no one knew who Bivol was. I remember the shit talk that Canelo fans were making about Bivol. So don't give me any excuses about Canelo being old. But to kind of close this video out a little bit, I'm just gonna say this. One of my favorite fighters right now is David the Monster Benavidez. He is a big time loser of this thing. Because now if he fights Canelo Alvarez, which is never gonna happen, but now if he fights Canelo Alvarez, and if he beats him, which this I ain't gonna lie to you, this fight even convinced me more now that Canelo would lose. He's going to lose that fight. He's going to get fucked up if he fights Benavidez. And if that fight happens and Benavidez wins, and when he wins, the excuse is going to be Canelo's old. Because Canelo's not going to fight him around Cinco de Mayo weekend. He's going to fight him around Mexican Independence, which is going to be around this time of the year in September. Canelo would be 36. Benavidez would be, I think, 28, 29 at that time. Like, he's only getting better. He's only getting better and more improved as a better boxer. And when Benavidez beats him, the excuse would be Canelo's 36. He's old. Oh, David Benavidez is a weight bully. Like, all the excuses in the world. For fucking 3 years. 3 years now. That man Canelo has been ducking David Benavidez. Because David Benavidez brought nothing to the table. Even though the Gates actually will tell you that Benavidez brings something to the table. He was offered big time deals, very similar to this one. Offered big time deals. Didn't want to take it. But unfortunately, the loser today is Benavidez. Because if he would have fought today and beat Canelo, Benavidez skyrockets to superstardom. And unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So unfortunately, Bivol doesn't want to fight Benavidez. Beterbiev wants his rematch against Bivol. We already know how that shit's working out. I feel bad for Benavidez because he's fighting top contending guys, a lot of the young guys. And it's just like, what does it take for this man to get the shot that he deserves? Boxing fans will make some of the biggest excuses as to why the fights that a lot of the casual fans want to see, they will make the biggest fucking excuses in the world why for these great fights, for these great fights not to happen. I've never seen shit like this. The UFC, MMA fans, kickboxing, taekwondo, Muay Thai, hell, even jiu-jitsu with fucking Ryan Gordon in them. Like, a lot of those fans, they clamor and beg for those fights to have for a lot of their top guys to fight each other. And boxing, it's the only sport where fans don't want it, where fans will make any type of excuse as to why their favorite fighter shouldn't fight this particular individual. And it's fucking ridiculous. So that's the loser. Not Canelo, not Crawford. It was Benavidez. He was robbed this goddamn moment because he should have had that fight against Canelo. He's been I'm not going to, it is what it is. But congratulations to Terrence Bud Crawford, one of the greatest of all time. He's, in my opinion, on the Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore. And if people say that he's not, then you got to admit, at least for this generation, he is the #1 fighter of all time for this generation.